This healthy living tip is brought to you by the Christ Hospital.
Pelvic floor disorders are a group of very, very common problems that almost every woman in some way, shape, or form will sometime deal with. And they relate to problems related to the lower urinary tract, the bladder, problems related to the genital tract, the vagina and the uterus, and problems related to the bowel. Specifically, bladder control problems. Probably up to 60% of women sometime in their life will have a problem controlling their bladder, believe it or not. That's why the adult diaper industry in this country is a $4 billion a year industry. There are things that we can do about bladder control problems. This center specializes in those. The flip side of that is the bowel. Significant bowel dysfunction occurs across the board in many women. Again, related to bowel control problems as well as problems evacuating bowel. Not something that women are comfortable talking about at their bridge club, but they can feel comfortable coming into the center and talking about it. And then finally, the segment in the middle, the vagina, the genital tract, there's a lot of issues related to support, female sexual dysfunction, pelvic pain issues in general. But the uniqueness of this center is that the center specializes in the entire pelvic floor. It doesn't segment these various areas. And that has been a problem that physicians and patients have had to deal with because these different problems overlap. So a woman very commonly will have a bladder control problem as well as a problem with her bowels, as well as a problem with intimacy, or as well as a problem with loss of support of something. And historically, they've been passed back and forth. They go to one specialist for this, another specialist for this. We have spent a significant amount of time and effort to create a center that is multidisciplinary, that is all-inclusive, that is one-stop shopping. And in reality, this is one of a handful of centers across the country that really has been created to be able to do this. Well, if you're at home and you're listening and thinking about this, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, do I have a problem like this? And if I do, is it impacting my quality of life? The other unique aspect of this is, fortunately, it's not life-threatening, it's not cancer, but the flip side of that is don't suffer in silence. If you have a problem and it is truly preventing you from doing things that you would normally do, and this is textbook. Women that have bladder control problems, they socially isolate themselves. They don't go anywhere unless they know where every toilet is. They toilet map when they go anywhere the first time they need to know where toilets are. They then become depressed, they gain weight, it's a vicious cycle, and it's well studied and well proven. Don't get yourself into that cycle. If you have a problem and it's impacting you on a daily basis and preventing you from doing the things that you want to do, come in and be evaluated for it, because most likely something can be done. One of the true uniquenesses of the center is a tremendous ability to do sophisticated testing. That's very important. And many of these disorders can be treated with non-surgical means. In fact, they have to be treated with non-surgical means. And if they're treated inappropriately with a surgical intervention, for example, it can be devastating and disastrous to a woman. The flip side is there are many minimally invasive surgical interventions that are very, very successful. So this is a very dynamic area in medicine in general, constantly changing, constantly having new procedures, new drugs, new modalities, and we're at the cutting edge of this from an educational, research standpoint, as well as a testing and a therapeutic standpoint. So if you are suffering from any of these disorders, please give us a call here at the Christ Hospital Center for Pelvic Floor Disorders. We have a very compassionate, caring, educated staff that hopefully will get your life back on track.
Do you have a pelvic floor disorder? Take our online questionnaire at thechristhospital.com/pelvic floor or call 585-4800 to speak to a specialist.